Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, baby. I know you ready, Raj. I know you like, fuck this week. Throw it out.
I was literally sitting here thinking we look way more put together than we were like 2 seconds ago. And then I said Happy Friday. So whatever, y'all.
Oh my God. Girl, I probably would have said it too.
It is happy Friday Eve.
There we go.
Some players. What's up?
We gonna wait for some folks to come on in.
Yes. And let me share.
I know. Let me go share.
Absolutely. And if you're following, you already know the drill. Please be sure to hit that share button. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Oh,
I know we be switching it up on y'all all the time, but we appreciate y'all. We really
y'all
do.
stick with us.
Y'all really do.
That's
and we appreciate that. Because schedules be changing, and since we are emerging out of are we emerging? Because
honestly, I don't know.
Sis, I can't call it.
I don't know.
Getting bad again.
Every other week, people be, between the variants and the this and the that, we're hearing that LA is being shut down. Right, Neek? Weren't you saying your friends said that?
LA is back to being shut down, I believe, yes.
Oh my God.
We have to wear masks everywhere now.
Right.
It's a little, so we appreciate y'all bearing with our all over the place schedules.
Right.
Things are happening for us. And so as things are getting better for us, we just have to be a little flexible with our time. So we still appreciate y'all watching and sharing and downloading and all of that. Because I know, even if you can't catch us here, you can always catch us on your podcast platform of choice. Mm-hmm. And the downloads are still rolling in, y'all. So we really appreciate the support.
Word. And
today we are having our first half-hour cocktail hour with our patrons in the high category. So,
yes. Are y'all ready? It's gonna be dope. So if you want to get in on the cocktail half hour with the Sip podcast, baby, you just got to go to patreon.com. I'll go ahead and put that link in the chat here and become a $25 patron, and we will be spending some extra time with you. Okay.
Well, one-on-one.
And honey,
time.
Come on, personal time. And if y'all think we be kikiing on the show, trust and believe we be kikiing behind the scenes. So you definitely want to be a part of that, because Lord knows we be acting a plum fool on a good day. So.
Facts. That's the wrong link, y'all. Don't use that link. That link is a bad link.
Charge it to our head, not our heart.
Here we go.
There we go.
That one right there.
There we go.
Amen to that. So how y'all doing?
I'm good. You know what? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Raj got me out here running. Why she got me
running in these streets?
Because if my memory serves me correct.
Oh, let me pull up the group text. Hold on.
Oh Lord.
If my memory serves me correct, Raj came into the text like, "Hey guys, I really want to do a 5K. Would you like that though?" And I was like, "Sure, I want to do a 5K with you and Carrie.
Let's go." Sure.
So,
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but I'm still sore.
Right. What you been doing? What kind of?
So, me and Raj are doing what's it called? Couch to 5K.
Yes. Yeah.
But we didn't have to start at week 1. Won't he do it?
Right.
We started at week 3. So isn't there a God?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we, once the day comes and we do it, we will feel so proud.
Amen.
We will. And honestly, I feel like we were talking about end of the year goals in Black Girl Fit Club. If I could share this, we were talking about end of the year goals and how we want to round out the year. And the one thing that I've always wanted to do is run a 5K. Again, I ran my first one in 2016, but it's the only one I've ever ridden. So I ran. So now that I feel like I'm getting back into shape, I was like, yo, let's do it. Let's set a date. whatever. And so, but it's hard. It's definitely, the training part of it is not easy at all.
We about to make it happen though.
But we doing it. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling?
Good. It's been a good week. I was out of town for a little bit. Now I'm back.
Nice.
Feeling.
Live your best traveling life, sis.
Hey, just spending time with good people, doing good things, and I'm blessed. What can I say? God is good.
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Sing it, Nick.
Jesus,
y'all, we are on 10 today. Excuse us.
Hi, Abby.
What's up, Abby? Good evening.
Good evening, darling.
So good to see you. Hope you're well.
Yes.
How you feeling, Rajita?
I am feeling good, y'all. Listen, I had 5 minutes to get ready, and I'm feeling cute. So that's saying a lot. And
you look good, girl.
You look great, girl.
Listen, thank y'all. Work is crazy, but what else is new? But I'm feeling good. It's been a great week. It's been a great couple of weeks. Like some good things are happening, and we all got positive stuff to talk about, even in the midst of the struggle. So I'm good.
That's real.
Yes.
That's real. The hustle is real, but it's a beautiful life. You know what I'm saying?
It is, but it's real.
Yeah. Yes. Facts.
Both and. Yeah.
100%. Word. Okay.
So what we sipping on today? What y'all got? What y'all sipping on?
Well, y'all know I got that peanut butter whiskey.
See, Carrie be coming with it. I be sliding in at the last minute.
Honey,
yes. What y'all shipping on?
I am having some ginger beer.
Okay, ginger beer.
It is my new fave, and Lord knows I still have stuff to do tonight, so there was no alcohol consumption going on. But I am enjoying this ginger beer, honey, and it's good. So,
amen.
Nice. I am having a cold brew. Okay. As I said, I am tired. So you're sipping it in a wine glass.
Baby.
A little bit of vanilla soy creamer.
Okay.
That sounds
good. Listen, you got 2 kids, sis. Like, you can drink coffee whenever you want.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. So, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
What's up, Lafoke?
Jasmine in the house. Abby, it is delicious. You drinking water, stay hydrated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
In these Denver streets.
And especially.
The struggle is real.
Word. Big facts.
Awesome, guys. Thank you all for tuning in on our new day for this week, Thursday. We're super excited to have our special guest in the building with us tonight. We're in the today, right? And we're going to get started with these sips. Who you got today, Raj?
Okay, and I'm going to make this as quick as I can. I have Naomi Osaka, and I know we have talked about her before because she is an incredible tennis player. She is basically the next in line from Serena Williams, those of you who don't know. But I just had to shout her out, one, for being on the cover of Sports Illustrated, along with Meg Thee Stallion and Lena Bloom, first of all. But second of all, for her one-sentence read of Megyn Kelly this week.
Y'all, Come on.
The thing is white people stay inserting themselves into conversations that ain't got nothing to do with them. So that's why I got to shout her out. I read an article on NBC News about how Megyn Kelly, who is the disgraced former NBC News anchor and racist lady.
Emphasis on disgraced.
Disgraced.
Yes.
Who asked what's wrong with blackface for Halloween on her Today Show, which got her fired. More about that later. But she sent out a series of tweets criticizing Naomi for appearing on magazine covers after refusing to speak to the media at the French Open last year. So there was a conservative commentator, his name was Clay Travis, and he tweeted, Since saying she's too introverted to talk to the media after tennis matches, Naomi Osaka has launched a reality show, a Barbie, and is now on the cover of SI swimsuit issue. Well, Megyn Kelly, of course, piled it on, and she was like, well, let's not forget the cover of Vogue Japan and Time Mag. So here we are, white people commenting on
that part. Sorry.
The fact that she's doing interviews. And so Naomi's response, again, I am here for the Black Girl Reads every week. Y'all already know. Her response to Megyn is what took the cake for me. So she was like, she said, seeing as you're a journalist, I would have assumed you would take the time to research what the lead times are for magazines. If you did, you would have found out I shot all of my covers last year. Instead, your first reaction is to hop on here and spew negativity. Do better, Megyn.
Boo!
A read for the ages.
A read.
Amen. Hallelujah. Holla back.
A read.
There's nothing left to say.
And you know what's crazy to me is like Megyn is doing all this to attack Naomi for what? Clay Travis is doing all this to attack Naomi for what? Did you know that when Megyn was fired? Right. Mm-hmm. Did you know that when she was fired from NBC for being racist, she was allowed to keep her $69 million contract versus Naomi, who had to leave the French Open? I know, girl.
Wait.
69.
Did you say $69
million?
$1 million contract with
NBC. As
a journalist?
Mm-hmm. So she says something racist, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but she said something racist on the Today Show, got fired, was able to keep her money. Then it's spending her time on Twitter criticizing Naomi, who lost $15,000 and lost her opportunity to play at the French Open simply for defending her right to preserve her mental health. Right. I'm with Naomi, and I think that all the conservatives need to worry about their own crazy family members and stay out of grown folks' business. I need all of y'all to do better.
That part.
Okay. So
that part.
That's all I got to say. I'm gonna keep it short and keep it cute today.
No, but for real, it was really The Voice for me, though.
It was.
I was like, "Is that Travis? What's his name? What his name is?" The man that she was
Clay Travis. Yeah,
Clay Travis.
And with a name like Clay Travis, I mean, come on, no.
Naomi is getting it. Like, big ups to her.
Big ups. I started watching the documentary on that.
I didn't get to see it yet. Is it good so far?
It's like multiple episodes. I'm not
okay.
How many? But I got through episode 1 and I was like, yo, this is good. You get a real peek inside of her life.
Yes.
And to see it in real time must be awesome.
And as a celebrated person, you should be able to like select the time, place, and the medium in which you want to share your story with the world. Like, people don't just have access just because they feel like they should have access. You know what I'm saying? So like, big ups to her for saying like, this is how I want to tell my story. You know what I mean? And if I don't want to show up for your interviews, then fuck you. I ain't gonna show up for your interview. Like, it is what it is.
And maybe y'all should change the tenor of your interviews. Maybe y'all should look at yourselves and figure out why people don't want to go there.
That part.
How about that? How about to look at yourself? This is what you all need to do, what you refuse to do. Don't get me started. But
God, please proceed.
I love Jay. Jay said she didn't get fired. She was given extended vacation time.
Yes. And I'm home. Derek said too. Derek said they have interviews literally on the court directly after the match. It's crazy pressure on top of being the incredible athlete that she is. Not comparable to a magazine shoot at all, which you have autonomy over. You get to be like, I don't like that dress. No, I need a break. I have a small circle of people in here. That is not the same.
Right.
Yeah. And let me find out that you guys give petty interviews, or that people do. I'm sorry, that you guys do bad interviews. Because the petty in me would tell you, no, I'm not going to do an interview with you, and go in the next room and do an interview with somebody else. Magazine and film a TV show.
100%.
But them people over there I ain't talking to. And
how about that?
And they're going to be big mad. And I'm going to continue to take up time on your radio waves because y'all talk about me. Thank you. Thank you so much for the press.
Right.
Shit.
So that's all I'm going to say about Naomi, but she's my sip, and Megyn is already a BAN. And we ain't even got to
life.
Yet,
Forever.
Y'all know.
Who you got,
it's my turn.
Yeah.
I was like,
who you got, Karen?
So today I'm just, it's real cute. I meant to actually talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to shout out our homegirl, Kim Dawson, who is a local vocalist out here, is also my vocal coach. But I just wanted to give Kim some love because she was recently accepted into the Recording Academy as a voting member. I believe Tania Nelson was as well, if I'm correct. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to give them love because I know the Grammys can kiss our ass like 100%, right? Because they really don't love and respect Black artists, women artists, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't respect us the way that we deserve to be respected. However, I'm grateful to see that there are artists inserting themselves into this space to demand that they do better by Black and brown artists, by women artists, by amazing artists that have less money and less clout, but are doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? That are paving the way, that are changing the game. And it's always mind-boggling to me how these spaces can be so saturated with people that are not recording artists. Like it doesn't, the math ain't math. It don't make sense, right? But representation absolutely matters. So for them to be able to like put in the work to be in that space, and to have friends in that space that are advocating for those that are just really trying to get their music out there, to get their art out there. I just wanted to give them love. So big love to homegirl Kim Dawson. We love you, Kim.
And she was just on the Red Rock stage again.
Yes. And I mean, I wish I was there, man, because it looked like she slayed that crowd.
Listen.
Shit. So anyway, big love. That's my sister in power for the week.
Love it. My sister in power for the week. So I have my sister in power, and then I also have like my white brother in power.
Okay.
We never had a white brother in power. So W-Bip, just bear with me, okay? So my regular sip for the week is none other than incredible actress Miss Marla Gibbs, who is 90 years old, by the way, y'all. 90. Miss Thang finally received her much-deserved star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. Celebrities such as Anthony Anderson, Regina King, Kim Whitley, and Tisha Campbell were there to support this beautiful woman who we have seen grace our TV screens for decades. That was very much deserved and overdue, and we just salute you, Mrs. Marla Gibbs. You are a sister in power indeed.
Absolutely.
Amen,
honey, and she was queen of the side eye, queen of the shade.
Queen of the shade.
Of the shade.
Yes, I was so happy to see that. And apparently her star is right next to Snoop's star. So he kind of gave her some love.
On now. That's
okay. So I thought that was really, really cool.
That's cute. I love that.
And then my second one, which I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to read this. So a post went viral this week on Facebook from a youth pastor by the name of Bryce Brewer. And here's what Mr. Bryce Brewer had to say. So I need to issue an apology. I have been a youth pastor on and off for 20 years, and I have issued the ridiculous ultimatum to my female students at summer camp, one-piece swimsuits only. First of all, I am sorry. Number one, I am sorry that I didn't teach boys to control themselves. Number two, I am sorry that I laid the weight of purity on girls' swimsuits while she was swimming and not on the boys' responsibility to not be gross. Number three, I am sorry to all the girls that frantically searched for an appropriate one piece so that some male youth pastor could deem them appropriate. Story here. I accompanied my fiance and her daughter as we desperately looked for a cute one piece that would be appropriate for camp. It was hard and it sucked. Number four, I am sorry that we have deemed a young woman's body as something that needs to be covered and let men's bodies be okay to be seen. Number five, I am sorry I ever let this be an item of discussion, usually led by men at any youth leader meeting. This must have been awful for my female leaders and students to be a part of. He says, I am still a fan of the no produce rule. No buns, bananas, or breasts need to be seen. But why are stomachs overtly sexual? Why is a little cleavage sinful? Why are women meant to feel they are responsible for men's actual sin of lust? So I am sorry to all the students, especially female, that we subjugated to our rules. I am sorry to my female students as they desperately tried to search for a swimsuit in the days leading up to camp. I am sorry if you felt sexualized by us telling you to cover up. I am sorry I didn't teach boys to be men and that I laid that responsibility on young women. Female students, wear a swimsuit that lets you have fun. Male students, stop being disgusting and control yourself. Youth pastors, male especially, stop being chauvinistic and making female students feel bad for having breasts. And Christians, live like Jesus. This has like 96,000 shares, 40,000 comments. And of course, all these idiots are like, you sound stupid, yada, yada, yada. The reason why I want to highlight this is because Carrie and I know very well how this feels to grow up in this type of purity culture and to grow up in this, you know, oh, what you do with your body determines what a man will do to you. And so for this man to actually say that he was wrong and trash and to post this to his social media, vowing to do better, I was like, if every single church pastor could, like, this needs to be a manifesto, and this needs to be sent out to every single church, because the church that I used to go to, the new pastor has said to the young girls that if they wear a V-neck t-shirt, they are sinning and enticing men. Because this is still happening in 2021 and will continue to happen until the end of our time. So I wanted to just say, you know what, Mr. Bryce Brewer, it sucked that you contributed to the problem for so long, but it's good that you finally realized that it was all some bullshit and that you fixed it and you're trying to do better by the young girls who are in your congregation. And I hope not only did you say this on Facebook, but that you said this to the girls in your congregation, right, and to all of the girls that shall come to you in the future in your ministry.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say.
Girl, amen. Amen. Listen, I used to get, you know, pulled aside for my elbows showing. You know what I'm saying?
Who has the time?
Oh,
I know you want the
elbow.
You
want this?
Come on, elbow. This elbow is sexy, girl.
Yeah, get this elbow. And I found out that this elbow isn't it called like the heinous? Never mind. It don't matter. Don't worry about it. So
what?
But I have a question.
Moving right along.
But I have a question. So
that's for after. That's for the after.
After show. Oh, that's for the after show. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The after party.
My bad. This nerve ending's in this elbow. Okay. So
Lord Jesus. Moving right along.
Oh God. So, question: what is the no produce rule? Can you say that one more time, because that had me stuck. I was stuck for like
my eyes
45 seconds.
So at the church camp, no buns. So I guess no thongs, no bananas, no penises showing, and no breasts need to be seen at the church camp.
I'm just new to this. I
never heard of the myself. I read that and I was like, okay, but we don't need to see nobody at the church camp with your twig and berries, okay?
With the twig and the berries.
But then there are people in the comments that are just like, you're an idiot for posting this and yada, yada, yada.
Right. Sexually suppressed motherfuckers, repressed motherfuckers. Just be free. Be free, damn it. Just be free.
And let everybody else be free.
Yeah, like, just it's too much. I don't have time for this shit.
The only thing I have to say about him, because I do appreciate what he says, but I do want to know, what will you do moving forward?
Right.
And also it's kind of like the Catholic Church paying off the survivors. Like, if you don't do anything different after you make that payment or the restitution or whatever, you know, I'm kind of I appreciate you, bro. Like, thank you so much. It is a manifesto and other pastors should really read it. But then I want to know, what are your actions next week on the pulpit?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying next week on the pulpit about other marginalized groups as well as girls?
Absolutely.
So, you know, if we're gonna open it up, then I'm gonna check you on everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is cool. This is a start.
Yeah.
But he needs to be holding classes with parents.
Right.
He needs to be holding classes with, you know, they need to be having meeting with all the clergy in the town. Because thank you for writing this. If I had, you know, heard a pastor say this when I was younger and read this at like 13 or 14, that might have like been like,
oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Right. And so but still, it's like, what are you going to do going forward? And I hope that you not only apologize on Facebook, that you apologize to the girls.
To them girls.
In person, to their face.
Yes.
And to their parents.
You still did the damage, bro. Yeah.
You still did the damage. That's why I was like, I don't know if he like a bit, but it just was something that I felt like, I was just like, this needs to be a conversation a lot more.
I mean, because as a pastor, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure he understands the consequences. Like, I'm sure he's going to lose a lot of people. And they should leave. Like, the door is there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, so at the end of the day, like, I agree 100%. Like, we got to see the follow through. We have to, you know, I'm hoping that there is more and that there is actual follow through. But at the same time, like, I am, yes, big ups to him for taking that stand. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to start this conversation.
We got to start somewhere, and I think this is a good start, as long as it's not just for like social media clout, and it's long as it's like you really trying to do this for the long haul. And if you're a youth pastor, who's senior pastor, and does a senior pastor, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's so many layers to it, but I at least appreciate that a conversation is being had around it. So
don't come to me with we're listening and then you ain't doing nothing. You know, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you know.
That's real.
Anywho,
what's these BANs?
Listen, okay, my BAN for this year, like, you know what? I'm not gonna do the other one, y'all, because I don't the neighborhood one, because I don't want to take up too much time. But I do want to talk about Jeff Bezos and this 10-minute in the time it took to boil an egg space ride. Yes. I love the sound effects. Okay, first of all, let me tell y'all something. I actually love space shows. So the idea of someone like traveling into space is fascinating to me. Like, I used to be scared of it, the idea of like floating into space and but I think that there's something so cool about it. And I think if there's a way for us to possibly go to space, it would be awesome, right? Not so with Jeff Bezos, because he's an ass. He's a horrible business owner who pays no taxes, and he used his undeserved billions to buy him a ticket into space, a ride that, again, I say took all of 10 minutes. And then, just like every other rich white man in history, he comes home, donates $100 million in grants to Jose Andre and Van Jones. Don't even get me started on Van Jones. And then, just like every other rich white man, okay? And then says thank you to his Amazon workers and customers for paying for his space trip. A trip to space that he spent $5.5 billion for, which is about $550 million per minute. But you can't use some of your billions to pay your taxes, pay your workers' wages, give them bonuses for COVID 2020. How about you let your workers unionize?
Let them unionize.
It is really sick to me how much money our country has and how they refuse to use it to help the least of us. And instead, they'll splurge and make political and tech moves to save themselves and their future. That's what the space is about. It's not that I don't think it's awesome. I just think that they're doing it for their good, and they could care less about those of us who are left behind. So you are the ban of the century, the week, the whatever, Jeff Bezos.
Amen. I'm sorry, Raj. I know you be giving them the most correct reads, and I just be getting really hyped. I be getting,
bruh,
girl.
If we really, I'm gonna just say this for 20 seconds.
Whitey's on the moon, baby.
When you really think $550 million per minute.
Per minute. Yep.
While people are literally starving to death.
Right. And what did Tribe Called Quest say? There ain't a space program for niggas. You stuck here.
Yes, you
right.
It's like we can't afford to go to space because we literally need food and shelter and
we
water
trying to survive.
And clean water.
They said that Whitey on the Moon, that poem has gone viral since he's been up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a rat just bit my baby sister while Whitey's on the moon.
Right.
I can't afford to go to the hospital while Whitey's on the moon.
Come on, Carrie. Come on.
Girl, I'm not tonight. I can't do it tonight.
It's real.
It is real.
It's too much.
Real disgusting too.
Yes, 100%.
And it kind of goes into the other BAN that I had about privileged people who literally sit here from this place and do these judgments and spend their money in these really frivolous ways. But then they really have such disdain for the lower class of people who help them build their wealth, mind you, okay? Who actually work in their homes, who actually, work in their services and do all these things. So it made me sick. Like, I'm excited that we have the technology to go to space. NASA, that's what the government pays you for. Do what you got to do. Send your astronauts there. Send more black and female and people of color astronauts. Fine. But I could give a shit about people paying money to ride a ticket to space for what? And then come back
and to not even really like, where did they go?
Experience it. Like,
where they actually go? It was just like they went up. We're almost in space.
Yeah. It's like that roller coaster at Six Flags.
At Six Flags, Kingdom Come, baby. Oh no, the other one. I know you're talking about.
One that drops you.
Yes. I know you're talking about.
Amy said, you said they're checking to make sure they like the living conditions. Listen, they can go and stay there.
Leave.
Like here,
be the fuck out.
But while you're making conditions better somewhere else, how about you make the conditions that you've destroyed here better? How about you make the neighborhood
literally destroying the earth?
Yeah, exactly.
You let me take a joyride to the moon. I hate it.
Privilege of it all.
Earth is so ghetto.
Sing it.
Oh, okay, that's enough.
I just want to reiterate before we move off of this. I want to reiterate. I love the idea that we're able to go to space. I think it's fascinating. I think that we, as a human race or as a species, we should explore other places. We should learn about our world. We should learn about the world beyond us. We should be educated. I don't agree with men who have a lot of money making frivolous choices while denying and dismissing the people that they are literally starving back here on Earth.
Of course.
Because the thing is they don't want to learn about it. Like they want to own it. They want to colonize it. They want to control it. They want to have the privilege and the power to say I can and I will and I, you know what I'm saying, to control it. You know what I'm saying? It has, because like when you look back on all of the colonization that's happened, like if y'all had questions about our culture, we just could have told you.
Right.
Like we could have just had a conversation. Y'all didn't have to like pick our asses up and take us on a ship and be like, hey, we go, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that is unnecessary. Like there's no actual intention to like want to understand. It's just like, how can I control?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And Amy said they know the earth is not going to, and it's so true that the earth isn't going to hold up much longer, but you also could do some things to make it better now. And they just refuse. That's the thing. That's what white people and colonizers do all the time. They come into a neighborhood, they trash it. They literally trash it. And then they go somewhere else. And then they say that neighborhood's bad. Don't live there. Those people who live there are bad. This is what they do all the time. They push people out of neighborhoods. You know, they do improve them over time and then they trash them and they go on to the next. So don't give me,
girl. All of it. I don't have anything to add. You said it all.
I'm sorry. You be stressing me out.
I know.
I'm going to just do my two quick ones.
Hey.
And we're going to bring our special guest on. Going today. First one, Alabama councilman faces backlash for a racial slur during meeting.
Did that just
Monday night? Did y'all see the video? If you haven't, go head on over to the Griot. Monday night in Toronto, Alabama. I'm assuming that's how you say that. Member Tommy Bryan stood up and asked those gathered in the room, "Do we have a house nigger in here?" Bryan, who is 76 years old, he's the longest serving councilman. He uttered the offensive slur after an unidentified person in the audience noted that his wife used the N-word on Facebook. Mayor Wayman Newton, shout out to her, who is Black and has a turbulent relationship with Bryan, also commented on the social media post. Bryan then made clear that his wife does not speak for him. From there, he stood up and asked, "Do we have a house up in here?" I'm not going to read the rest of what I wrote, but I do want to say that my heart goes out to Black politicians who live in these racist, mostly white small towns who are trying to make change happen. But the white folks try them at every turn. And let me just say this. If you call me a house nigger in a public or private space, you won't have a tongue to ever utter another word. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb, because your tongue will be in the trash. And who gonna arrest me? As Keith Sweat says, nobody, baby.
Come on, baby.
And lastly, my second BAN of the day, I just want to mention a very disturbing picture that I saw floating around the interwebs. of an engagement photo shoot involving a Becky and her slave. I mean, this brother has on the whole Kunta Kinte slave garb with chains around his wrist to match. And all that is missing are some whip marks on the nigga's back. And would that be going too far, y'all? Because I was hella confused. I thought this had to be a poster for a new slave movie or a show that none of us really want to watch. But as I did some digging, no, this was a real photo shoot. A photo shoot that y'all paid money for and that someone got paid for. The photo shoot even had a senseless storyline that said, and I quote, 1842, days passed and everything changed. Our love got stronger and stronger. He was no longer a slave. He was part of the family, the caption reads. Y'all, can we also talk about the photographer that signed up for this shit? You are a BAN too, ma'am or sir.
That part.
Like, you stood there behind that lens and took these pictures like it was another casual day in the cotton fields of Mississippi, photographing a Martha and her slave. Whose idea was this, Becky or the Negroes? I don't have anything left. Y'all are stupid, and I hope you idiots don't bring children into the world.
Amen.
And that was my
Here I plead. Jesus, here I plead.
Approach to my BANs this week.
Wow. Wow.
It is
He
real
was
up in
picking
these
cotton,
streets.
and he was picking cotton.
And
then at the end, when he's not a slave no more, he got a top hat on and some tails.
Sis. Which means he moved into the house. Okay? That's exactly what it means.
Y'all just Google it. Just Google it. Google slave engagement photo shoot.
I cannot.
And you will see it.
They're trying to set
And
us
you will
back,
be like,
though.
what the entire, who thought this was a great idea? Who thought and who convinced who? Because I'm pretty sure, Kenta, it wasn't you, Toby.
I hope not.
It better not been you.
I bet you it was his idea.
It probably
was. If it
He
was,
like, you know, it's a good
How
idea.
much you want the bed?
I can't.
You know what we should do, Mary? We should.
The voice. It's the voice.
It's
I've
the
got the
voice
perfect
for
idea.
me. Listen,
I can't tell.
Oh,
I'm telling y'all, we are never at a shortage for BAN.
never.
On a weekly basis.
Y'all just keep acting up.
They make it too easy, man. They make it too easy. But listen, if y'all got some BANs, put them down in the comments for real. We do this roast, y'all, because it needs to be said. You know, there are certain shows where, you know, you'll get the PC and you'll get the cuteness. We give it to y'all real up in here. This is what Black women feel about the mess that's happening in the news. And I don't know how y'all feel. Kid Joe said where they keep finding these slaves. Listen, I don't know, sis. But we just giving you all the truth up in here. So thank y'all.
Jesus, fix it. That's stressed. I'm slightly stressed.
You have to.
I know it.
You gonna gag.
Oh, they said nibs, not nibs. I got you. I was like, nibs. Okay, that's a new one.
It's late Gibbs. Jesus, fix
Wait,
it.
so Jay was saying Leslie Herod, who is a council person. I'm sorry.
She's a state representative.
State representative. I'm sorry. Leslie Herod, who is one of our state representatives here in Denver, was called Porch Monkey here in May 2021, the year of our
and
Lord.
we're still using Porch Monkey.
Yes. In the middle of a legislative meeting.
Can we burn y'all? Like, for real? Like, can we throw lighter fluid on y'all?
Like, for real.
Just go back into the dark ages. Just go.
Jesus Christ.
You want to live back in 1842? Please go there. And
Go.
leave me
No.
here. Thank you.
Jump in a time machine and go.
Leave.
Grab your bag, sis. No. All right, y'all.
All right.
Okay. Oh, has the time has come.
The time has come.
Now I get to sit back and sip my ginger beer.
Sip your ginger beer, sis. We about to bring on the one and the only. The reason why y'all are all here, you know what I'm saying? So very excited to introduce an amazing friend, amazing person, Jasmyn Nicole Bias. So Jasmyn just to give it, a little bio here, is a licensed esthetician, a clinical massage therapist, a dermaplaning pro, a published makeup artist, and has been in the skincare industry for over a decade. She is the owner of Unbiased Skincare and Waxing in St. Louis, Missouri, a place that she has called home for about 7 years now. She was born in Quincy, Illinois, and raised in Chicago. What's up, Chi-Town? Jasmine brings that Midwest love and hospitality to her work, building a base of over 850 clients on her own, baby, and specializing in services for Black women and other women of color. So please, let's welcome Jasmyn Nicole Bias. Where you at, shorty? What's up, beautiful? How you doing?
Oh, I am blessed. I am so blessed. And I am, favors upon me.
Amen.
And I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. Well, you're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Okay. What are you sipping on tonight, Jasmine?
Girl, now closer to the weekend I just get my wine going.
Okay. What's that, Merlot?
I like my Merlot. I became bougie about a year ago, so my palate changed. So now I'm into dry reds.
Okay. Moving on up in the world.
Just a little bit.
Word. Thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get to know you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But but before we dive into this interview, as everyone that follows the SIP knows, we always have a question of the day.
Okay.
Right? And so this is gonna be an exciting question. I think it's a good question. We're gonna have a good conversation. So y'all ready?
We ready.
Ready? Okay. All right. So what is more important? Experience or imagination?
I would definitely have to say imagination.
Ooh.
Yes, 100%. We experience a lot of things, ups and downs, highs and lows. You can experience anything that you want to, but your imagination can take you places where experience can't. So I think having an imagination can get you experienced. But I think sometimes that the experiences that we do have, can kind of keep us in sunken places. So I think it's really great to have an imagination. If it wasn't for my imagination, I would not be sitting here talking to you guys.
Word. Okay, sunken places. Amen. We trying to avoid them suckers. Yes. In B flat. Organ in B flat. Amen.
Okay.
Word. What y'all think? Mo, right?
I was literally gonna say the same exact thing. I feel like for me, I have experience because of my imagination. I have dared to dream outside of the box. I have dared to dream outside of the normal life that was prepared for me, and I chose a different path. I had the imagination to say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, wow, what if I could do this and this? And I had experiences based on that. So I would say, really, you can't have good experiences that really mean something to you without imagination. I feel like the two kind of go hand in hand. Yes, you can have your regular life experience, like Jasmine said, your highs, the ups, the lows, all that stuff. But like the really crazy things that we kind of go through in life, it's like the good things is because I imagined that could happen.
Absolutely.
And I experienced it.
Y'all preaching on tonight. Amen.
Yes.
What you Jasmine got started,
right? Okay.
Right? It's funny because I was going to say the exact opposite, which is so interesting. This is a really interesting question, Carrie, because I feel like for me, I can be around, I'm very much a visionary, imaginative person, but I don't feel like imagination is good without the action behind it. And so for me, like I'll talk to my husband all the time about dreams and ideals and things like that. It's like a concept about goals. You can make a list, you can have a dream about goals, but until you get up and do the actions to, realize them, that's all they are goals. So they don't feel as tangible to me. But I totally agree with you about imagination. So it's like I agree with y'all's answers. But when you first asked the question, I was like, no, I want experiences. Because for me, I think a lot of people live in their head, but it's really beautiful when you bring whatever that idea out is and put it into fruition. So that's, that's kind of my take on it.
Word. Okay.
That too.
Yes.
We getting deep. We getting deep.
I get that too.
I know, Carrie, you be.
I be trying, okay? I be trying to provoke the minds.
I love it.
Wow. No, I love what you said though, Raj. That's
yeah,
real. I mean, because I feel like, you know, it would be hard for me to have to imagine some things without some of the experiences I had, right? Because of some of the experiences I've had, I'm like, you know what? I imagine something different. I imagine something better. I imagine something, whatever, you know what I mean? And so, but at the same time, like I kind of think back on like when I was a child, right? And like, I don't know what the hell is going on in the world. I'm just a baby trying to figure, like, take this world in. And I feel like there was so much that we imagined as children that we're kind of taught not to over time. And I wonder, like, if we would be able to stay in that imaginative space, what we could create and what we could collectively experience. Like, I don't know. That's just where
it's all of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. All of it. Word. Okay.
Question. Listen, Carrie, you win every time.
I be trying, yo. I really do be trying. I appreciate it. Amy said experience for you. Okay, I hear that. Tammy said imagination. I hear you. Sippers, keep bringing it in. Like, just tell us your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Okay, word. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into this interview here and get to know more about the amazing Jasmyn Nicole Bias. So Jasmyn.
What's up?
Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Oh man, who am I? So like you said, I am from Quincy, Illinois. Nothing to be proud of. Actually, you know what? I take that back because I know that my mom is going to be like, why are you saying? Okay, but no, I come from a very eclectic small town in the middle of Illinois. But I was raised in Chicago. And now, you know, I am in St. Louis. I call St. Louis my home. I've been here for 7 years. I don't have any family here. I don't have any roots here. I created it on my own. But I have been in this industry for pretty much my whole life. I mean, I've been in the salon and spa industries since I was probably, well in my late teens. Now that I'm entering into my early 30s, I'll be 31 this year. So I've been doing it a long time. I studied criminal justice first. I wanted to be a juvenile probation officer. And I realized quickly that children were not my thing, especially Chicago youth. I was like, no, ma'am. And then I wanted to study correctional law. And I wanted to be the face and the change for, you know, my Black men and my Black women to get them outside of incarceration so they weren't institutionalized. And I wanted to make sure that they had jobs and they had homes and they had everything that they needed. And then I did a small walkthrough and interviewed some prisoners at a maximum men security prison in Joliet. And I realized I didn't want to work with murderers. I was like, you know what? Kids and murderers, no, thank you. So I just kind of landed in the spa industry, but it has given me so much poise, so much grace. I've been so blessed. I've met so many different people, and I meet people who just want to feel their best when they feel their worst. And I have just been blessed with the characteristics of being myself and my personality, just to uplift people in that space. I've been in some of these spaces and places with my career that just have elevated me. So I'm here now, and it's just what I do. It's what I love. And I feel like I don't work a day in my life because I really do exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Amen to that. Yes. Snaps. No, that's real. That's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. So tell me about the shift though. Like, tell me about the shift from studying, you know, working in the in corrections, and like really, I know that you said that you have that experience from when you were a teen, but like, what was it like actually moving into that industry and like really shifting, you know, the direction of your work?
You know, it was really hard for me. And for people who do know me, and I think that everybody, you know, has a past, obviously. Everybody has something that they can uphold and collect from, you know, who they are then, who they are now. But, you know, unfortunately, I have been to prisons and jails just, since I was 2 years old, just from family being incarcerated. So I was always around prisons. I was always around jail. I was always around detention centers and work release centers, always picking up family members from work releases and then being incarcerated and being in and out of court systems, just, seeing what sentences people were getting who were my family. And it really kind of just molded me into, I want to be a part of corrections because that's all I knew. And to me, that was normal. Like I would just to me, it was like chaos is normal to me. Right. And jail and prison, correctional systems, institutionalization, drugs, alcohol, that is normal to me. So I wanted to be a part of that. I thought that is what I had to do. I have to be, I'm systemically positioned to be in these spaces. But I was always around still like salon and spa industry. So it was just kind of weird. I think it was just when I was working as a teenager, I was always like the front desk person somewhere at a spa, or I was the, whatever they needed. I worked at a sister of the church that I grew up in Chicago. She had a beauty salon. So I was, the shampoo girl and the whatever. So at the time that I wanted to do correctional law and stuff like that, I was still working, at her salon or just, working. I don't even think I made any money. I think that's just what they were like, yeah, she was an unpaid intern. Right. Yeah, they were like, yeah, Sister Jasmine will do it. And I was like, but Mom, I don't want to go. So, but she made me anyway. She's like, you're going to do it today. I'm like, okay, got it. But, so I always just been around that, but then seeing women and men feel good about themselves and knowing that I was like, well, I want to do that. But, so I can't really say that there was a big transition. I can just say that somehow I've had my hand in both of them. But I mean this with my whole heart. I do believe that my path was chosen for me. I was trying to choose corrections and I was trying to choose being around prison systems, prisoners. I wanted to be a drug and alcohol counselor at one point. I wanted to be in that life. And I feel like I was plucked and like, no, that's not what I have for you. You're supposed to be doing something else. And I was like, but I like this. And it was like, no, that's not your path, sis. And I was like, okay, got it. So I kind of just feel like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. So there wasn't a huge transition. It was just, I was wanting one thing, whereas, life, God may have it that he was like, you need to veer this way. I don't know why you're so connected to this, but I'm trying to get you over here. And I can honestly say that, I don't think that I would be happy doing what I wanted to do. So I followed what I was supposed to be doing.
Word. Okay. Following God's plan.
Yeah,
okay.
For real.
So hold on. You mentioned growing up in the church a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And so from my understanding, you also grew up in the Apostolic Pentecostal Church. The talking, holy rolling, one God.
Yes, I did.
Lord. I was baptized in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
But see, the one I did when I was a kid is wearing off, so I need to get baptized again because that one is.
They don't work no more. They was like,
that was not. It's not working.
It don't work no more.
I sweat that one off like 2 summers ago. So I need to get baptized again. But no, I was raised Pentecostal actually around 10. My mom got into the church and. It was traumatizing. I was traumatized, but I'm in therapy every Monday at 11. But my mom turned on my pants into skirts, and it was altar working and missionaries and the whole thing. So I was raised Pentecostal, and so crazy life, but I think that it has helped me and molded me and shaped me in ways that I just don't even think that I would be who I was today if it wasn't for the church hurt that I've experienced.
I felt that in my soul. Amen to that. I appreciate you sharing that because as you know, definitely grew up in the same denomination. I know Monique was in the Pentecostals of the world, so y'all was in the Black Apostolic Church. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and I know that it can play like it can impact you at especially if you go in at a very young age, and it can really shape who you are in some negative ways. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, as far as like some of that trauma is concerned. But look at you now, growing and glowing.
That's not, and and just to retract, I don't want anybody to feel that not all church experiences are negative. I don't place any type of negativity on sanctuaries or places or people of God. I just think that having a man-made religion and people telling you what to do, and the love of God is not there. I think that it shifted my perspective on what church meant for me. So just retracting back, I don't ever want people to think that their place in God is not as it just wasn't. It was hurtful place for me, as opposed to just a healing place for me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But now you're out here, like you said, like helping people feel beautiful, feel like
absolutely
their best selves. Talk to us a little bit about like being an esthetician. And I mean, I think your work is super fascinating. I mean, it's sometimes like, I don't know. I know some people are like super into, and I don't know, Raj and Mo, y'all tell me, I don't know if y'all are into like the Dr. Pimple Popper and shit, where they be like extracting the things.
Yes, I do sometimes until it gets like huge, and then I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. That's a lot. Them pimples be a lot.
Yes, it can be a little excessive. That's kind of every day for you, huh?
Every day,
and that's
every single day,
and that's like, but you love that.
I honestly can't think of anything better.
Wow.
That is exactly why. And people all the time are like, you do this day in and day out. And I'm like, oh, yes. Oh, yes, I love it. The only thing I don't love is while doing some extractions, which is getting any type of clogged pore, any type of, ingrown hair out or anything, is just, I quit wearing my like little goggles I would have because it sprays. And so sometimes just shooting me in the face and the eyes, and it's just there's a lot. So I'm like, well, I need to get back to doing that. Thank God for the masks though. A lot of people are like, I hate masks. I'm like, listen, I will go back. I will wear a mask every day of my life at work because I have had the unfortunate situations of me doing extractions, especially like I would do it like, right. Cause you're in their faces and right on their foreheads, and it got on my lips, and I was like, wow, I'm going to die. So masks for me, I'm cool. So, but doing the extractions is like the best part of my job.
A G. Forever. You are a G. Wow. So extractions are your favorite though? Like, cause I was going to ask you of all the treatments that you do, what are the treatments that you do? Tell the people what you do.
So, I started with clinical massage therapy. I have since kind of just gotten out of that. So massage used to be like my favorite part, just bringing healing energy to people and stuff like that. But it does take a lot of energy out of the person giving. So I would recognize that I would come home just feeling empty and almost just like not alive because I was giving so much of my energy to people who were just hurting. And I would have people come in for massages and be crying and like, you take that on. So I'm like, I only do that for a couple people, but the best part of my job, the service that I love the most, I do a ton of male and female Brazilian waxing, and it is by far the best. Yeah. I'm having a bad day and I get to go to work and rip hair out of people.
Okay.
I'm like, you're having a bad day, girl. Oh yeah, you're doing great, sweetie. And there's a part of me that I'm like, I'm just having fun. I'm having so much fun. I also make people feel beautiful because I have people who come in who are surprise their husbands or their wives, or they're trying something new, or people who are marathon runners and they get chafing, or people who have, crazy things like, folliculitis and that they need to get waxed. Something that a lot of brown and black people experience are like ingrown hairs and just crazy things like that. So they need to get waxed and having razor burns. So they come to me because they need to. And so it's really just kind of helped me just be there for my clients. But the Brazilian waxing is just something that I absolutely love it. Couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Okay. So the name of your business is Unbiased Skincare and Massage, right?
Yes.
When did you start your own your own business?
I started my own business 2 years ago. I have worked in medical spas. I worked for a dermatologist. I worked for a nurse. I worked for massage companies. I've pretty much had my hand in everything, spa and industry wise, up until, I was like, I can do this. I can do this by myself. I have everything I need. I have the smarts. I have the education behind me. I have people who support me. And so I was like, why am I not doing this myself? So I decided to just take that leap of faith, and I got started.
Word. And it was right before. So you said 2 years ago.
It was right before. It was the summer of 2019. So yes, it was right before like the whole quarantine shutdown gamble that we had last year.
Word.
How did you deal with that?
Right. I was going to say, well, no, you
as a business owner, your new business.
Lots of wine.
This is how I dealt.
The drugs. Okay. No,
that is exactly how I dealt. And that is why between prayer and wine, that is why I'm here today. But I was closed for a long time. They had put a master lock on my business door last year, and I couldn't get in even if I wanted to. So I was closed for about 4 months. I didn't qualify for like any of the loans or the unemployment or anything like that for quite some time. I mean, it was a crazy time, especially like I said, not having any family here in St. Louis. So I was alone the whole time. So that brought me peace. And then it brought me anxiety, all in just like the whole thing. It was crazy because a lot of people are like, well, I just went and stayed at my sister's, or I went and stayed here. Well, I don't have any family here. So I just like kind of was by myself. But it was very eye-opening. But, I made it through, and just, trying to stay positive about it. But it was hard. It was hard. Just like I'm sure it was hard for a lot of people last year, not working and being shut down as well.
Shoot. Hell yeah. I know we're all entrepreneurs in this space, and 2020 was a hell of a year.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I can't speak for everybody, but it changed me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, how was it opening back up? Like, was it like, one of those like slow opens? You were only able to bring in a few people at a time? Were people like ready to come to your door because they have literally been in their houses, like, growing these bushes, baby? Like, tell me about how that was open. So, I mean, there was no disrespect. So bushes are beautiful. Okay.
Right. There's beauty in the bush.
There's beauty in the bush. Lord have mercy.
That is a word. Okay.
Girl, don't you stop my business.
Right. No, that is never. Make sure you go to Unbiased Skincare. No, but yeah, like, how was it opening up for you? And like, did you learn anything in the quarantine that like kind of brought you into that space as a businesswoman in a different way? You know what I mean?
I definitely, I was so scared. I was like, what am I going to go to school for now? I thought about going back to school for nurse. I thought about doing anything just to have another thing under my belt. But I realized in that time, it gave me time to sit still because I have such an overactive mind. I'm always thinking like, what's next? What's new? I don't think about what's now. I'm always like, how can I further do something? Like, I have so much more work that I want to do even now. But being in quarantine made me just kind of sit still. And when we were able to open back up, I was the one that was apprehensive. I was like, y'all ain't coming up in here. And they was like, but I mean, they were knocking the door down. And I was like, listen, baby, I can't call it. But so I took my time. I only had about maybe 10 clients a week. Maybe. I mean, not even that many. And that was services ranging from like facials and microneedling, dermaplaning, chemical peels, massages, waxing. So it was the whole gamut. And, I really had to just take my time getting back into it. Well, then as things opened and I started to grow and people really started to recognize me. I mean, glory be to God, but like people started to like really be like, wait, you're Jasmine. I'm like, mm-mm. But I was like, wait, who's asking? Because I like, why? Because now I realize that like I've been in St. Louis long enough to where, so-and-so has heard this and so-and-so has heard that. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a networking opportunity. So now that I've grown, I'm almost at 900 clients and it's just me. It is just me. And I still sometimes am just like blown away that I'm like me. And I'd be like, God, are you sure this is what I'm? He's like, girl, yes. I done try to tell you so many times if you just listen. So now, I mean, after that and opening up my heart, opening up my mind to just exploring what it's like to be, you know, a Black entrepreneur, knowing what it's like to be a Black woman, having a business servicing people has just been beautiful for me.
You're better. Raj, go ahead.
Yes. I just had a question for you, Jazz. I was wondering, what is the culture like? Like, what's the business culture, and what is it like being a Black woman living in St. Louis? Because I feel for you being in the pandemic and not really having anybody there. Like, is there a community there of folks? Do you feel like, you know, there's enough brown and Black people there that, you know, you can kind of draw on, you know what I mean, in those moments?
You know what's crazy is I'm just now starting to get into like Black entrepreneurship as a whole in my community. When I first moved here to St. Louis, I worked in all white spaces, and I didn't know anything about St. Louis. I honestly just moved here. I packed up and I was like, oh, where do I live? I live in South City. Great. I have no idea what that means. So I work in Clayton and Ladue. I don't even know what that means. I mean, now living here. So I'm just now starting to tap into to my Black St. Louis people. Like it's new. So it's very new for me because, and I mean this with the utmost respect, but now in retrospect, I'm just like, wow, companies hired me because they were like, oh, you're not that Black, so we can hire you. You'll be our Black person, you know? And when I started to notice that, I was like, wait a second. So that's another reason why I opened up my own space, because I was like, I don't want to be your token Black anything. And so it's my job to be the voice, not only for myself, but to be the voice for people like me and to be the voice of people who are Black and brown. So a lot of people, so both of my parents are half white and half Black. So both of my parents are Black, right? But I have gotten hired because, well, you talk white, so you're not Black enough. Like, you're not too Black. And I'm like, what? Like, and so now it's just like all these avenues to answer your question. Like, these are new spaces for me, honestly. And I love it and I appreciate it. So I'm just now starting to tap into more like Black boutiques and Black barbershops, and because I want to start a whole, Black network here in St. Louis that's just under me. Because I'm like, I'm creating I'm finally realizing what it's like to be a Black woman, because my whole life I've never been Black enough. And then to my white family and my white friends, you're not white enough either. So it's like I'm developing, characteristics of being my Black entrepreneurial self and figuring out what that's like for me.
Wow. I hear that. One of my questions for you would be the fear, like so you at 10 years old, you're in a new church, a new situation, you weren't born into this. And there's a lot of fear sometimes that kind of goes with certain sects of Christianity. Have you ever had a moment where you were like super afraid for this? I mean, you talked briefly about how you wanted to have this career in criminal justice, but you were being pulled to something that you felt like, I don't know, but it was for you. But has there been like a specific, like when you wanted to go head first into your business, have you had moments in your life where fear just kind of got the best of you and like you had to specifically for this one thing, climb out of your fear so that you could get your positive result?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that the fear is over. There are some times where I live in fear because I'm still like, sometimes I still feel like you're not doing enough. And I think that just comes from when people are just like, that's all you're doing, that's it. And so people expect something from me that sometimes I can't produce. With the business, like I had nothing to give to it. And when I dove into it, a lot of people told me like you're going to be okay at this, or you might not make it, but you're going to be okay. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? And even people who I thought were close to me, even people who I thought were rooting for me were just like, we'll see. and I was just like, okay. So it was really hard for me. But there have been places just in fear, even from when I was younger, that have kind of like reared its ugly head at me as I've gotten older, especially, opening up a business. It has just been mind blowing to me, honestly. Like I'll be doing things and people are like, wow, you're doing this. And I'm like, am I? But like I am, but it's like that fear is just at the back door, just always just like, I'm here if you need me. And I'm like, not right now. But fear has lived and been a part of my life. I mean, since I can remember. So, but starting the business and having the business now, like I get fearful of those spaces, but I also get fearful because like when I first started, I remember a girl who I worked with at a medical spa I was the only Black person at the spa of maybe 70 workers, the hairstylists, estheticians, massage therapists, whatever. And she was like, we'll see you back here. Don't worry.
Pardon.
And I was like,
she was so jealous that you were going to start your business.
No, exactly. That part.
Projecting. And now look at you, 900 clients strong and growing. Like, sis, you should send her.
Yes. Yes. So she was like, we'll see you back here. I'm not worried. And I was like, okay. And I really didn't know how to take it. And I was just like, I looked at her and I remember it was my last day. And I said, when you want me, I said, I won't be reachable. So I'll have my assistant contact you whenever you need me. And that was the last thing I said to her.
Come on, assistant.
Yeah. Yes. Which I just hired an assistant Tuesday.
Girl, yeah.
So I hired an assistant on Tuesday. That has been something that has been, I was like, I can do all this by myself. And then I realized that at the sake of my mental health, I was like, okay, I need somebody. But I finally found the perfect person. I worked with her when I first moved here 7 years ago. And she's great. I mean, she's very powerful in what she does. I mean, it's only been 3 days and she has taken so much off my chest that I'm like, wow, this is what it's like to breathe again. Cause I haven't really been able to take a breath in almost 2 years. So it's been a crazy accomplishment for me. And I still can't believe that I'm here now, because at the end of the year, I want to hire a nurse. And I want her to do like Botox and women's health and start setting up platforms for us to talk about, Black women and Black men, people of color. How can we, just be healthy together? How can we strive and be blessed together? So she and I are working, we're going to be working simultaneously. We're going to be working close here soon. So keeping my fingers crossed at the end of the year, because at the end of the year, I was like, man, I just really hope I have like 800 clients. Now I have almost 900. So when I get to 1,000, I want to be able to get a brick and mortar, and so where we can have these collective spaces together.
Come on. And it's July, baby.
It is July. Yes.
I mean,
I've been wanting to, have a praise break about it and cry about it, but I just don't have time.
I'm too tired.
I don't have the time. Like, I'm gonna make the time to cry today, but I still ain't had time. But
Wow, I love that. Congratulations. That is
Thank you so much.
So huge. Huge. And I hope you will celebrate your accomplishments. That's amazing.
One of these days, I'm gonna celebrate my accomplishments. And I think what confuses me the most, but also what humbles me, is like, I don't do this for myself at all.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I've heard people say that in the past, and I'm like, I really don't. Like, I just want to give so much. Like, I want to set up programs for girls who don't have money, for prom to get their makeup done, or just have these spaces for just kids to come and just, so it's bigger than just a spa. It's bigger than aesthetics. I want to somehow get my hands into, Black youth and making them feel beautiful and loved and doing projects with them. So it doesn't stop here, but this is just a start.
And you know what? That's why you're so successful. That's why you're so successful. You have that giving heart. I apologize if there's an echo, guys. I don't know what's going on. I apologize for everybody watching, but I feel like that's why you've been so successful, because it's not about you, and you've been able to kind of tap into that like purpose that you have.
Yes.
So that's really beautiful. I have one other question for you, and it's kind of beauty related, or just skincare in general. Are there any tips or anything that you see that Black women may struggle with their skin that you have like a tip? So is there like a common thing that you kind of see that you're like, Black women, y'all need to do more of this? Are there any tips that you have?
So, with that, I feel like a lot of my clients are like, what can I do? They don't listen, but I be telling them. Especially with like brown and Black skin, hyperpigmentation. So we have a lot of like dark spots or age spots that we just kind of can't get rid of. And dealing with melanated skin in the sun, a lot of people are like, I tell some of my, Black women, I'm like, wear sunscreen. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. But I'm like, it's the sun. We can't out sun the sun. You gotta protect yourself from that. So a lot of the times I see, I tell my Black women, I'm just like, wash your face in cold water. You don't ever want to wash your face in the shower. Because we naturally have oilier skin. Some people have a little bit of drier skin depending on climate. So sometimes I see people, who live, like my best friend lives in California. She has a different skin type, even though she is my Black queen. And like, her skin might be different than based on me. I mean, I live in the Midwest. It's humid, it's muggy, it's hot, I'm sweaty. But collectively, most Black people in general have oily skin. And washing your face in the shower just produces more of that oil, especially with the hot water. So then when you get out and then you're tapping things on your skin, your pores are open, your body is hot, your body is not able to kind of relax from just being in the heat. So, and washing your face in the shower. So I tell people to start with sunscreen, make sure your skin is protected. Then washing your face in cold water, making sure your skin is constricted so it's not pulling out more oils. And I usually tell people more times than not, I am not opposed to shea butters and I am not opposed to coconut oil. But baby, that stuff is an emollient that sits right on top of your skin. It is not going to penetrate past that epidermal layer. You need moisturizer. You do not need something that is going to stick on your face. Or they tell me all the time, they're like, oh, I use it and then my makeup, and then I go outside and it's sliding off my face. I'm like, well, you just put oils all over your face with your other oils, and then you go outside and then you sweat and then your makeup is running off in the club and girl, you're looking crazy. So protecting your skin, washing your face in cold water. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, get silk or light cotton pillowcases, and it helps to kind of just contribute to that oil while you're sleeping. I mean, our skin is rejuvenating overnight, and drinking plenty of water, which I need to do better myself. But drinking plenty of water, protecting your skin, and using moisturizers as opposed to lotion is what I always tell my queens.
Thank you.
Do you have any suggestions on like moisturizers? Like what should we be looking for in the moisturizers? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So a lot of people, so the thing is about moisturizers versus lotions. So those are two different things. So like if you have something like Jergens, that is a body lotion. That is meant to just kind of, like I said, sit on top of your skin, make you feel nice. It's not going to penetrate your epidermis to make you feel moisturized. So you want something that when you're looking at ingredients, if you start seeing a moisturizer that has like water and then just goes into some crazy ass chemicals that I probably can't pronounce, and I'm an ingredient junkie, you want to look for things that are a little bit more pure. So when you're looking at a moisturizer, you want to look at things like it says like water and then like lemon root or grass root or something that is hydrating. So if you're looking at ingredients and then like, towards the bottom, you'll probably see things that are like, I can't pronounce that, but at least I know the front facing ingredients are going to help to moisturize my skin, because our pH levels are off at most times. So just rebalancing your pH levels with things that are moisturizing to your skin and not just surfactants just sitting right on top of your skin is probably most important.
I know you're a fan of, is it Epionce?
Girl, it's Epionce.
Epionce, whatever. Listen, I be trying to make things sound sexy. Epionce. Whatever. So, is that like a product that you would recommend to people? Is that especially the women of color? Like, I don't know. I would just
Absolutely. I know I've worked with about 12 different skincare lines, and Epionce is the one that I have seen that has worked wonders. I show people before and after of my skin, and they're like, that's not your skin. I'm like, baby, listen, let me tell you something. It's my skin, but it's a medical grade product based out in Boise, Idaho. And the price point is not crazy at all. The moisturizer that I use has a SPF of 50 in it, and it's like $26. And it's not anything crazy. But Epionce, I've studied it. I use it. I love it. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm at Target. What should I get? And I'm like, baby, I don't have a degree in Target, but if you, if you can like help me, like if you show me the ingredients or you show me I'm not saying that product from Walmart, Target, Amazon, whatever. If I have the time, I will do a consult with you and you can let me know. And I'll look at the ingredients for you and we'll kind of see what's best for your skin. But I use Epionce. I have a lot of people who go through my Epionce account. I'll get some samples going. But it's a great product line. It's amazing. And it's really simple. A lot of product lines have, hundreds of products or at least over 100, where Epionce has simplified their line, and it's curated beautifully.
Awesome. Y'all heard that? I dropped the link in the chat. Sometimes be mindful if you hear an echo.
Honey, I don't know what's going on with the echo.
I'm not sure, but we gonna get it together. So tell me a little bit about some of your inspirations in your line of work. Like, who are some people that maybe you have studied or followed, or just they really kind of influence the way that you do you.
Inspirations. Wow, I have so many. I would probably say I have always been inspired by my Aunt JJ. She is she's so amazing, and she's just a fighter. So my inspiration really has come from her, just from being just a young Black kid and really trying to just know who I was, being Black. My granny has inspired me. She is the craziest woman in the entire world. And I just would not trade her for, silver or gold. But so those people, my mom has really inspired me as well. But my inspiration really just comes from like the women in my family. But then on the other half, I do have a lot of inspiration from the men in my family as well. But and this might sound a little crazy or facetious, but as far as like industry goes, I've inspired myself. There's not really anybody who was rooting for me. And there still really isn't anybody who's rooting for me as far as this industry goes. I do have one friend in St. Louis that has, her name is JC. She's amazing. She's a Black queen. She is, she's just all around, just keeps me grounded. But she is one person in this industry that she has kind of lit a fire under my ass, because she tells me the things that I don't want to hear. But she loves me so much and I love her. And like but as far as inspiration goes, just growing up is definitely those three women in my life. But like I said, the industry doesn't really have my back. So I just kind of been inspired by myself, honestly.
I hear that.
Absolutely. And you have created your own lane in spite of that. And sometimes you only need one. Sometimes you only need that one person who's rooting for you, and then you root for your damn self. And that's
exactly. JC is the only person that really comes to mind in this industry as far as that goes, because there's a lot of people waiting to see me fail. But she is just like I don't get to talk to her very often. She travels a lot, and she will tell me, she's like, Jasmine, you can't fail. You're not allowed to. And she was like, she's like, your life is not meant to fail. And she was like, bitch, get up. I'm like, oh my God. Like, why are you yelling? I'm sensitive. And she's like, she will tell me, she's like, I don't care. She's like, you're tired. I don't care. You're being sloppy this time. Get it together. She's like, I looked at your books. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, she makes me sweat, but I keep her around because she keeps me on my toes and she keeps me grounded.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. We need people that light that fire under our asses.
Yes, she's definitely that person.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I know I appreciate you so much and your time and your energy. I'm gonna give you some can y'all hear me? I'm trying. Is the echo still there?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, beautiful. I was trying to, play a little double dutch here with the echo, with the sound. But so I have a couple more questions for you. Just some like kind of cute little things here. What's on your playlist right now?
Oh Lord, on my playlist right now, a lot of her. There's a ton of her. There's a lot of Young and May on my playlist. There's a lot of 2 Chainz. You know, I gotta keep them. I gotta keep them in my playlist. And right now, I'm listening to this white man that sounds like Otis Redding. He has a beautiful voice that makes me feel alive. And I don't even know how I came across this man, but it's beautiful.
Is it Teddy?
No, it's hold on. Let me get y'all hit because I'm telling you, this man's voice, it's inspiring. So those are a couple people that's on my playlist right now.
Okay.
The Teskey brothers.
The Teskey brothers. Okay, Teskey brothers. Bring that life. No, you did send me one of them videos, and you right. He did speak to my soul. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, he did something.
Amen to that. So we gonna get into some rapid fire questions, but before we do that, I just wanted to ask you, like, how can we support you and Unbiased skincare and massage? How can the people here make sure that we holding you up?
It's really just promoting business. It doesn't cost any money to share things. It doesn't cost any money to comment, like, share. So honestly, people that are just across the internet, Instagram, Facebook, things like that, just sharing it, talking about it. My goal, overall is to kind of bring my inspiration and my light to different cities around the United States. And so until we get to that point, it's just spreading the word that doesn't cost any money at all.
The good word. Amen to that. Thank you for that. All right. And so I was like, can I ask one more question before the rapid fire questions? Y'all gonna be happy. I know, because we supposed to be having the cocktail hour. We coming, y'all. It's happening. But you're a busy businesswoman, trying to handle shit and hold yourself down. What do you do for self-care? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are things that you do to make sure that you're taken care of?
I'm not really like,
We gonna get
Yes, the wine.
I'm telling you, when God said wine, he meant wine. No, but for my self-care, I clean. I clean. I listen to a lot of music, and every morning I talk to my best friend, and she's crazy, but I love her. But every morning I have a routine of just talking to her. She grounds me, and then after that I put on like Thai Tribbett, or I put on like Georgia Mass Choir, and I gotta have a praise break. I have to literally ground myself in prayer and ground myself and escaping the reality sometimes, because it's just me. And it's just like a one-man band. So, or like I say, a one clown circus, but that sounds crazy. but no, I really, what I appreciate most about being brought up in the church is when I know how to go back to roots. And I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb and I praise God. That's how I just kind of keep grounded. If I don't have time to do it when I'm getting ready in the morning, I do it when I get to my office. But that's what I do. I clean. I praise God. I drink my wine.
Listen.
And I talk to my friends, and nothing crazy.
A clean house, wine, and spirituality. You can't go wrong.
You really can't. That's the formula.
You really can't.
No, I love that. And speaking of best friends, crazy best friends, shout out to Leah James, who is the reason why Jasmine is even in our presence today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
LJ.
She told me if I didn't give her a shout out that she was going to disown me, so I had to make sure.
Oh, no. We love you, Leah.
Nah, big love. All right, so let's jump into these rapid fire questions real quick. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to do your makeup, shorty. What you doing?
brows, mascara, eyeliner done.
Done and done. Love it. Okay. What store do you shop at the most?
Amazon.
The devil. No, but I
listen. If it's real,
but I understand. Also me. I get it. I be doing the same.
No, know your enemy. No.
Also me.
Yes, right.
I need it quick.
Right. 2 days. Okay.
Right. I be getting mad when it's not on my doorstep. The same.
I be like, Bezos.
Right.
We so spoiled. It's a shame.
It's a shame. Here we are.
It is.
Here we are. You're booking a flight to anywhere in the world. Where you going?
Greece.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet or savory grits?
Savory.
Mm-hmm. Yes, girl.
Yes, God.
I suppose. Whatever. Wow.
Listen. Little salt and pepper, some butter, some cheese, and some sugar, and I'm good.
Right. She's like, I need all of
sugar.
I want it all.
Butter.
Don't forget my cheese and my grits.
You want some cheese? Okay. I let that pass. Flats or stilettos?
Sneakers or flats? Because baby, I ain't walking around in no lemon pepper stepper flats now. And I'm gonna have to choose stilettos.
Not the lemon pepper steppers. No. Glass half empty or half full?
Half full.
I respect that. One sentence to describe you.
A strong Black woman has purpose, looking to be filled and to fill others.
Damn.
Oh, come on. Bars, baby, bars.
Boom, boom.
Shoot. On the wall somewhere? You got that
right.
It just ones came in my mind.
Right,
I love that.
That was beautiful. If you could be any flavor of ice cream, what would you be?
Chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, 100%.
Yes, cookie dough ice cream. Oh my God, love.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just too much shit. Last but not least, who would you want to see do a versus battle?
Oh, Biggie and Tupac.
Okay.
Yes.
Keep it classy. Cool.
Down. Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Listen, Jasmyn Nicole Bias, thank you so much for blessing
Absolutely.
your grace. Listen, fam, be sure to support her. Go to Facebook, go to the Instagram, follow. If you in St. Louis, make sure you go through and get your Brazilians or whatever the things you need. And continue to follow us. We're gonna be here next week.
Right. Next week at some time.
We will let y'all know the time and the day. And if you are not following us on Patreon, please become a patron and you'll be able to kick it with us in our cocktail half hour, which we're about to do right now. All right. Love y'all. Wow.
Bye.
Thank you.